Okay, so we're at the Cranesville Swamp. It's right by Deep Creek, Maryland. So this area is protected by the Nature Conservancy, which is a national nonprofit organization. So all of the swamp area here is formed by the rainwater that collects off the mountains, as we can see in the background. So there are a lot of unique plants and animals that live here, because if you look at the ground, it's very marshy and all the water collects here and creates a very acidic environment. So it's very diverse with animals and plants that can only live in this type of environment. So it's an important ecosystem for different types of critters that we like to protect. So this is actually one of the really interesting plants that can live in like this swampy area. It's called skunk cabbage. So if you would rip off a part of the leaf, it would smell like skunk, and it's pretty stinky. It's interesting because that stinky smell, even though most plants are pollinated by like bees or butterflies, they're pollinated by flies, because flies are attracted to the stinky smell, so it's still able to survive and thrive even though it stinks. And in the winter, it's one of the first plants to come up in the snow. So as it's growing, it's able to warm its roots area. So the snow will melt around it and it can still grow before all of the other plants come out in the spring. So it's pretty cool. We've been using this tree finder guide that's really easy to use to identify some of the trees that we've been looking at. So this tree here, we can start by using the guide to distinguish if it has leaves or if it has pine needles. So since it has pine needles, what it has us do is count how many needles are in a little cluster together. So if we come look at the needles, you can see that they grow from the branch in little bunches together. So we can count how many are in a little bunch. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a little bunch. And using our guide, that's upside down. So since we know that there are in bundles of 2 up to 5, we can go to the guide and we can see that with 5 needles in a bundle, it's a white pine. So right here we have a nice little white pine tree. We're staying at Blue Moon Rising Cabins, which is a series of eco-friendly, sustainable cabins at Deep Creek, Maryland. Each cabin is custom built and unique, and the one that we're staying in is called the Belladonna Cabin. So Blue Moon Rising overall focuses on living a sustainable lifestyle. So at all the cabins, they offer outdoor shower, compost, solar energy, living roofs and such. Each of the cabins are designed to be tiny cabins. So they're minimalistic, which is very nice for a short weekend. The property also has like a community room with a full kitchen, and they also provide all of the linens and towels. This is our nice living area and kitchen. The island is very nice. Right with the toaster oven. In here we have like hot plate, tea kettle. There's obviously a sink, a mini fridge, a French press for coffee, which we'll have to adventure with tomorrow. And it's fully stocked with everything that you would need for cooking, which is really nice. So if we come through here, we have the full bedroom, which is just a full bed. And then we have a full bathroom with shower, toilet, indoor shower this time. And then up above us, we have a loft with 2 beds, 2 single beds. So a total of 4 people could stay in this house. So going up the cute little ladder steps, we'll end up at the second bedroom where there are 2 single beds. Now that we're up here, see that we have our 2 single beds, which are very cute. I kind of feel like I'm Alice in Wonderland in the giant house. In this book, they provided us with some interesting facts specifically about our cabin. Our front door is made of Douglas fir. It's also made of longleaf heart pine from the 1700s. The porch posts are from Lancaster County in Pennsylvania. And yeah, pretty much everything else was like sustainably made within the county, which is pretty nice. One of our favorite parts of the cabin is that we have a nice porch that looks out into the woods, and we actually already saw some animals. We saw a couple of deer, which were really pretty. So I'm glad we were able to get a cabin that looks out to the woods. They also have their own hiking trails on the property, which is for the residents that are staying there. Here, can you plant yourself in there? We were just finishing our hike on the Meadow Mountain Trail here at the park, and as we were walking down the side of the trail, we actually saw a black bear. This was the first one we've seen in the wild before.
And behind us is actually a trap that some of the park rangers will use, and scientists as well, to try to capture and relocate the bears if they're becoming too close to people or if there's any danger. But for the most part, bears really don't want to hurt humans. He had this adorable little face, these big ears, and this little brown and black face. He was really sweet, and it just surprised me. I wasn't expecting to make eye contact with this creature. And so we just kept walking, and he just turned around and went back up the mountain, and so we both parted ways peacefully. And so it was really cool to see an animal like this up close. Over at the Discovery Center, they had a whole display about monarch butterflies, and this is the favorite food and habitat of the monarch butterfly. This is milkweed. This is a really special plant for them because they lay their eggs on this plant, the caterpillars will eat the plant, and then later on they will form a chrysalis and then actually develop into the monarch butterfly while on the milkweed. So they spend their entire life cycle in the milkweed plant, and so you can see their beautiful flowers. They've got these very large leaves that are really distinctive, and they also sort of have this milk that seems to come out, which is just this liquid that comes out of the plant, but it looks like milk, and you can see it here. And so that's where they get the name milkweed.
Also come in two color phases, and Morty is a gray screech owl and there's a red screech owl. And what we believe, and it's probably true, that it depends on where they come from. Here in the northern area of the state, in the mountains, we tend to have more gray tree trunks with oaks and beeches and hickories. Down south, we tend to have more reddish tree trunks with pine species and things like that. So it seems as if the owls kind of color morph to the areas where they live so they can blend in better with their surroundings. What's really interesting, though, about these birds is that red screech owls and gray screech owls can be born in the same clutch of eggs. So a little bit about golden eagles. Again, our bald eagle, our national symbol, is really only found in North America. Golden eagles are found throughout the world. So they're found in Africa, Asia, they're found in a lot of countries in Europe.
Canoeing in the lake. We rented kayaks from Nova's Resort Beach Place. It was super fun. It's nice to be out on the water. It's a really beautiful day.